There's been a major breakthrough in the search for missing backpacker Celine Cremier. Human remains have been found at Philosopher Falls.
They have brought me confidence in humanity.
237 days since an elderly man was declared missing, search efforts have discovered what are believed to be his remains. More than 60 volunteers ventured into Tasmania's wilderness to find answers and bring closure to friends and family.
A desperate search finally at its end. Human remains found at Hollybank in the state's north, almost 8 months since a man went missing in the reserve.
We are conducting testing to see if those remains are in fact missing person Peter Willoughby.
The Scottsdale local hasn't been seen since he became separated from his group in early October. What's believed to be the 76-year-old's body found painfully close by, just 700 metres from his last known position. A 10-day police search found no trace of the missing man beyond his car, which in a cruel twist was the one thing he was looking for. Although this weekend's renewed efforts saw more than 60 volunteers return to Hollybank Reserve, they didn't expect to find any answers.
After day one, I was preparing to do the next search because I was like, we have to come back. It's going to take too long. It was just harder and slower than I imagined.
But the very next day, a body was found, hidden from previous search parties by waist-high foliage.
It'd be a very, very long time before anyone would go through that area. So, yeah, it probably would have never been found.
Having been exposed to the elements, the remains will require forensic testing to confirm the identity. But with clothes and other items belonging to Mr. Willoughby found in the area, his family may finally have some closure after more than 200 days.
They're obviously overwhelmed with relief. The limbo has been broken, but they're also grieving because it's now, he really has passed.
Aaron Smith, 7 News.
Celine and Peter. 2 people in 6 months. 2 needles in 2 haystacks we have found. And there's only one way to do that. Let's get a big search team. You get boots on the ground. And that's what we have done. Jared Boys found Celine. Noah found I think it's Etherington. Noah Etherington. He found Peter. He was like probably 4 or 6 metres away from me when he found Peter. And Peter is his granddad or great granddad. Noah's his grandson, something like that. So that was the best outcome for that search. His own family member finding him, so that was awesome. I'm glad it was him and no one else. I think we all are. It's a great outcome for that. That was sick. And I think I got. Then when we called the police, we started back to the top of the hill where Peter was headed, and we stood there waiting for the police. Stood there for hours. We must have stood there for like 3-4 hours in the rain, in the cold, just freezing our butts off. I think I got a mild case of hypothermia. Because later that night when I got home to the Airbnb, hot shower, did not fix anything. I was fine. It sort of fixed me for a bit. Tried to go to sleep. Could not sleep. My legs were caning that much just from all the hill climbing we did that day to find Peter. I was just so sore, and every body part was just it was killing me. And then I'm walking around the house probably about 12 o'clock, just shaking. Could not stop shaking. Whole body was just shaking. Could not stop. So I got jumped on the couch. The heat pump was straight above me on the couch, and I put that on 30, put it on full bore, and pointed straight down at me. And that's where I tried to warm myself up in my trackies and hoodie, and I just stayed there, curled up on the couch, trying to defrost. it was like, came to like 1 o'clock in the morning. It's like, there's no way I'm sleeping. Probably, I don't know. I was probably just in, you know, that much adrenaline or shock or whatever it was, finding a missing person out there like we did. That and being half frozen, waiting all night on that hill for the police. All of us, like probably, I don't know, 8 of us or so, standing there in the rain. Stood there, all stood there in a circle waiting for the police. We weren't moving. So the police got there and we had all that sorted. And, yeah, I knew I wasn't going to sleep. It was like, there's no way I'm going to sleep now. It's 1 o'clock. I'm just going to drive home. So I packed up everything, jumped in the car and headed home. And now I'm off to find... So I'll search for Bruce Fairfax down at Duckhole Lake. And boys and girls are headed up north next weekend to search for Angela Jeffries. I can't make that trip. That's the one I've always... That's my first missing person case I've ever come across, and that's the one I've wanted to do the most, but unfortunately I won't be there next weekend. I'm gonna miss it. So this weekend I'm headed to Duckhole Lake, down past Stewson and Strathblane, and see what I can do down there. Oh, there is a lot of snow down here. Holy crap. I'm an hour away from where I'm headed, and the mountains down here are chock-a-block. Ooh, that is covered in snow. Wow. There's a lot of snow down here today. It's going to be cold. Woo! Blowing a little bit. It's going to get higher the next couple of days because we're seeing that snow coming down. I thought it wasn't where I was going. That's exactly where I'm going. Up behind here is Adamson's Peak, and it is completely covered in snow. It is chock-a-block full. Doused myself in that. There is a lot of leeches in here. This spray it everywhere. Leeches hate this stuff. They don't come on you. You got this? I'm just going to spray it all over. Last time I took a leech home with me, he had a good feed. Hour and a half, he was on my back. Disgusting. I found him on the floor in the lounge room at home. He got a free ride home. You can see the ground is just washed out with branches and leaves, twigs. So those little rivers, when they overflow, they wash, all this goes underwater. So it will be impossible to find him here. Let's go out here. Let's go off the path, heading south. Fuck. I just broke that branch and probably a heap of leeches just fell on me. Alright, so what have we got here? See, this is just, look at this. This is a mess. Absolute mess through here. And we've got that cutting grass. Very soft, walking through all this stuff. That tree just collapsed on me. He's always thick. The thing about coming to look for Bruce, that's what we met with. That is thick through there. I don't think he would have went through this thick stuff. He had Parkinson's disease, so I just want to explore all the openings. Thought the creek ran on this side. It must be back on the other side. I can hear it. Careful where I step. I hope I don't step on a snake's home. Guess what? This will be harder than what I first imagined. Now, what I'm keeping an eye out for is a red jacket. Red jacket that Bruce is wearing. Probably won't be real red now. It's probably going to be faded. I probably won't be too faded in here because not much sun gets in here. See what we met with? It's really, really thick. Let's hope I don't fall down any holes. The amount of stuff on this ground. It's going to cover, this stuff could cover a body very, very easy. It's been 8 or 9 years. Eight or 9 years of debris falling down. It's like worse than the West Coast, just with the debris on the ground. What's that? Like a bit of timber. A bit of tree burnt. Hope I don't come across any animals' homes. They'll scare the crap out of me, I reckon. So my tracking on the phone is going to outline all this thick stuff. Whoa, that's deep there. That's probably a foot deep with just branches and leaves. What we got here? That's burnt timber, burnt tree there. If he's going to go, I feel like Bruce has Parkinson's. He's not going to be venturing through that stuff, that thick stuff there. It's just going to keep leading him, like it's leading me. And a jacket, and the human could be easily covered in all this stuff. Just keep an eye for anything red. If there are no snakes. It's shown for. We found Celine and Peter. They weren't too far away from their last known position. Peter only made it 650 metres from his last known position. And he was going through cancer and chemo and stuff, so he didn't get very far. Bruce had Parkinson's, so he's going through that. So he's probably not going to get much further than that. And Celine was a young, healthy, fit female. She made it 2.5 k's down the river in very, very rough terrain, very unforgiving terrain. That was possibly in the night time or in the morning, and she would have been freezing. She would have had hypothermia. So she's done amazing to get as far as she did. I'm gonna start marking some of this. I'll grab this. Not marking where I'm going. Just head back here. This one. Baby, come back. Just check my tracking is working. Yeah, she's working. So that green dot's us, and you can see where we started from. That orange line, that's where we have travelled so far. At the start of the car park there, head along the river, and then we turn off the track there and headed south. So we're heading a bit probably southwest at the moment. It's just walking the edges of the thick stuff where I'm hoping Bruce hasn't walked into. And up there is Duckhole Lake. So we're halfway there. Right, we've marked those trees. I'll keep walking. So friggin' bad out here. I don't know which way Bruce. See, along this whole river, this whole creek, Bruce could have turned off anywhere. It's very easy just to walk off this track into a different area. And get lost, get yourself lost. So I've put my pink tape away from the walking track so no one can see it. You don't want other people seeing pink tape and then, oh, what's that? And then start following it and they end up getting lost. Now this is all open. Very open here. A lot of trees have fallen down. There's no wind today, so I wouldn't be in here if it's windy. As soon as it starts getting windy, I'm heading out because everything around here wants to fall. It is just so wet. It just stays damp all year round, I reckon. You've seen on my mapping just then, on tracking, you've seen there was an opening over here to the southeast of me. But I think there's a road going to it, so someone would have come across in the middle of the road. What's that over here? Let me check out what this is. Oh, it's just a bark. There's a pink tape there. Pink tape on this one. It's thick again there, so I've gone around that stuff. But we did think when we found Peter, the ferns were going through waist height. You could not see the ground. It was so dodgy. There's a couple of us said, no way he's in here. But we ended up finding him in there. We found him right on the edge of him. He was about to start walking through him when he stopped. I'm going to check this bit out over here first. So if I end up finding Bruce, I will quickly mark it on my tracking and head straight back to the car and call the police. We know messing around, poking, prodding, any of that kind of stuff. When you find a person, you've got to be respectful. Don't go lifting any clothes item up or anything like that. Just make sure you know you're aware that it is the person you're looking for. Then mark the location and head straight back. Now that is 2 foot deep there. Just bark. Ooh, I feel like I could have pushed that tree over. So they found the dog. When they found Bruce, when they didn't find Bruce, they found the dog because the dog was with Bruce. So I don't know where they found the dog, but I say wherever they found the dog, that's what I'm going to have to look into. Where they actually found the dog, because that would be the area, the pinpoint, that needs searching. So I don't feel like he'd be too far away. Fuck, oh, thought that was a snake. No. It's crazy up here. I feel like he would have followed that creek. Bruce was an experienced hiker, he was. So I feel like him losing through Parkinson's, him losing the ability to navigate properly, and then being an experienced bushwalker and a hiker, walking along the track, something would have probably caught his eye along the way and say, oh, that's nice, that looks cool over there. I'll go and have a look at that. Right, we're coming to a swamp now. This is a trail of water run through here, so it's going to be very swampy, very wet. So I feel like, he would have walked off the trail, gone to explore whatever he had seen over there. And then was unable to navigate his way back. I'd say more than likely going to be in an opening somewhere on the edge of a area that gets thick. because I highly doubt he will be looking to travel through any of that thick stuff, hopefully. But we were wrong about Peter. Yeah, Peter, because Peter was just about to head through the thick stuff, ferns up the north, and that's where he come to rest, right on the edge of it. And if he had been in there a metre or two, we would never have found him. I think I did walk into a wombat's home then, or Tassie Devil's home. Yeah, a lot of clean dirt underneath a tree root. The tree has fallen over. Looked very, very tidy. Hey, Jesus. How you going? This could be the hardest one yet to find. Whoa, that was like, a couple of, that is, something lives in there. So this way. Right, we've marked those trees. I'll keep walking. So friggin' bad out here. I don't know which way Bruce. See, along this whole river, this whole creek, Bruce could have turned off anywhere. It's very easy just to walk off this track into a different area. And get lost, get yourself lost. So I put my pink tape away from the walking track so no one can see it. You don't want other people seeing pink tape and then, oh, what's that? And then start following it and they end up getting lost. Now this is all open. Very open here. So a lot of trees have fallen down. There's no wind today. So I wouldn't be in here if it's windy. As soon as it starts getting windy, I'm heading out because everything around here wants to fall. It's just so wet. It just stays damp all year round, I reckon. You've seen on my mapping just then, on tracking, you've seen there was an opening over here to the southeast of me. But I think there's a road going to it, so someone would have come across him in the middle of the road. What's that over here? Let me check out what this is. Oh, it's just a bark. The pink tape there. Pink tape on this one. It's thick again there, so I've gone around that stuff. But we did think when we found Peter, the ferns were going through waist height. You could not see the ground. It was so dodgy. There's a couple of us said, no way he's in here. But we ended up finding him in there. We found him right on the edge of him. He was about to start walking through him when he stopped. I'm going to check this bit out over here first. So if I end up finding Bruce, I will quickly mark it on my tracking and head straight back to the car and call the police. We know messing around, poking, prodding, any of that kind of stuff. When you find a person, you'll be respectful. Don't go lifting any clothes item up or anything like that. Just make sure you know you're aware that it is the person you're looking for. Then mark the location and head straight back. Now that is 2 foot deep there of just bark. Ooh, I feel like I could have pushed that tree over. So they found the dog. When they found Bruce, when they didn't find Bruce, they found the dog because the dog was with Bruce. So I don't know where they found the dog, but I say wherever they found the dog, that's what I'm going to have to look into. Where they actually found the dog, because that would be the area, the pinpoint, that needs searching. So I don't feel like he'd be too far away. Fuck, oh, thought that was a snake. No. It's crazy up here. I feel like he would have followed that creek. Bruce was an experienced hiker, he was. So I feel like him losing through Parkinson's, him losing the ability to navigate properly, And then being an experienced bushwalker and a hiker, walking along the track, something would have probably caught his eye along the way and say, oh, that's nice, that looks cool over there. I'll go and have a look at that. Right, we're coming to a swamp now. This is a trail of water run through here, so it's going to be very swampy, very wet. So I feel like, you know, he would have walked off the trail, gone to explore whatever he had seen over there. And then was unable to navigate his way back. I'd say more than likely going to be in an opening somewhere on the edge of a area that gets thick. I highly doubt he will be looking to travel through any of that thick stuff, hopefully, but we were wrong about Peter. Peter, because Peter was just about to head through the thick stuff, ferns up the north, and that's where he come to rest, right on the edge of it. And if he had been in there a metre or two, we would never have found him. Walk straight over the top of him. You cannot see the bottom where he was. Oh, there's a big tote. Let's head back this way. On that way a bit. A couple of areas over here I want to have a look at. Where are we? There's my pink tape. So something had a wombat or a Tassie devil there, digging up. so if I don't walk into one of their homes. I think I did walk into a wombat's home then, or Tassie Devil's home. Yeah, a lot of clean dirt underneath a tree root. The tree that's fallen over. Looked very, very tidy. Hey, Jesus. Jesus. How you going? This could be the hardest one yet to find. Whoa, that was like, oh, a couple. That is, oh, something lives in there. So this way. Started walking on a lot of burrows then. About Tassie Devil size. Enough for Tassie Devil to walk in though. There's like 4 or 5 just then. And my feet were collapsing through holes. I was probably right on top of them. So better leave those guys alone. There's some of these spots I'm stepping in are like 2-3 foot thick, deep. My feet are going through. I'll just bark. I don't think he would have come this far. See, Celine was following the river in hope to find a road or a farm or a gate or a fence or anything, any sign of civilization. Peter was trying to find his car, and it was on the exact route to finding it. He headed straight for it when we found him. From his last known position to the car, he was right in the middle, heading straight for it up the hill. But Bruce, he just had a case of the wanders here and wandered off the track, and you're not going to know which way you're facing. If you have a problem to navigate, if you can't navigate properly anymore because of what you're dealing with through health issues, then you're going to wander in any direction. So how bad this place is. We really need a team down here. I think we need a team to go along the river line. On both sides of the river, and just keep working our way out to the middle. See now, in front of me, there are burrows everywhere. And I reckon he would have went too far, but probably very easy to have a fall in here because a lot of places where I'm stepping, my foot goes through it. Have I been up here? I think I have. Head this way. I'm keen to head on the other side of the river. When you're on the other side, when you're walking up along that river there's so many nice spots where you look across, up north, facing, across that river, that there's a lot of places there to catch your eye. It's like, oh, that looks nice over there. I'm gonna go for a wander over there and check that out. I feel he might have done something like that. Oh, he could have went through some thick stuff. You just don't know. You just got to walk around till you stumble on the right spot. That's all you can do. I'm back. See? I had no idea. Here's a track. That's how easy it is. I didn't realise I was on the track. So right here, so there's another old creek there, creek. So let's check the let's check my tracking, see what I've done, where we've been. We covered a bit of extra ground, very squiggly mess, just walking around outside of the thick stuff. Let's head over to the other side of the creek and see what we can find. So I can still hear the river, the creek. So it gets thick up there. That's uphill, that's heading north. Facing north now. I can still hear the creek, probably, I don't know, 70 metres from the creek. Now, if you've got Parkinson's disease, and his wife's saying he probably fell over and just couldn't get back up, so he's stuck where he was. How far are you going? How bad a condition are you going to be? Are you in to not be able to get up? So you're not going to be very far. There's a low spot here, so it fills up with water there. Oh, and by the way, that mountain I was talking about, where I've seen all the snow on the way down, it's right there. That's Adamson's Peak. It is completely covered in snow, so I was wrong. That is where we're going, and that's where we are. We're at the bottom of that. So over the next week, there's going to be a lot of water coming down this river. It's going to fill back up, especially if it rains. So they found the dog. Where did they find the dog? Where they found the dog is probably that's where I want to. That's where I want to start searching. I want to venture off where they found that dog. Let's go uphill a bit more. Now, if something was red out here, if I lost a red jacket out here tomorrow, and today, you'd find it easy. Red is really going to stand out here because it's all brown, green. But 8 years after, she might be faded and she'll be looking brown. So I think in the police report, the police searched 100 metres on each side of the river. Look at that tree. Look at the size of that. Let's go and look at that tree. That's going to get your attention. The wombat's been here. You can see that it's been eating the bark, trying to get out the grubs, the witchetty grubs. There's a lot of digging, a lot of ground dug up here. Scratched that. A lot of ground scratched here. There's a lot of mud here. The size of that. That base there, on the edge of that tree, to over here, that's probably 25 foot wide. That's a monster. The middle of that tree, there, has released 8 foot round in diameter. I'm sure there's bigger ones around, but this is massive. I'll have to check on the other side of that. It's a good spot for a wombat because all the trees are scratched up. So let's walk on a green tree. Try not to have an accident. I don't know what that is. I don't know if it shows on camera, but that's massive. It's all broken off. Now, this is really going to be hard. Whoa, that's debris. So let's see through this bridge. I want to get on this side. It's very, very thick over there. Looks like a spot here I can cross. A lot of sand here. There's a lot of sand on this place. Right, we're over. There's a lot of clearings over here. Now this is what grabbed my eye when I first come over here. These areas like that when I was walking up the track, they got my attention. So I'm thinking I might have got Bruce's attention. So let's wander away from this creek. Till we can't hear the creek. Because you can, as long as you hear the creek, you should be able to make your way back. If you can't hear the creek, then you're in a little bit of trouble. You don't have the right gear. So what we want to keep an eye out for is a red jacket. It's the most standout thing he was wearing. I just want to check the end of this tree. I'll go back down, come around the end of this tree and just have a look without falling. Hey. There's another tree falling out. They just rip out. See this one here? I'm standing on the base of it. They just rip out of the ground. It's so wet. That's a humongous tree. This is a huge tree. The size of that. The size of this friggin' tree. That, I don't know, 20 foot, 15 foot round. All the space under there for, look at the size of the root, look at the size of the base on it. Where's my torch? Get my torch out. I bet something lives in there. It's too nice, too dry not to. Nothing down there. There's nothing in here. Thought maybe could have went in. Look at the size of that. Man, this has got to be 30 foot around the base of this tree. That is massive. He's not here. Well, there's a big hole under me. I'm not going to step there. There's nothing there. Well, he didn't come in here. He didn't stay. He hasn't come to rest in here. Come back out. There's some other parts of this river. Nothing in there. You can see these, how big they are. They're growing, they're making babies. Very wet here. Look, something's been scratching here. Oh, that is wet. A lot of water run through there. Very much a mess, just like Waratah. I'm looking for Selene up Philosopher Falls, but it's a lot flatter. And a lot of ferns. It's very wet. A lot of trails of water running through here, just under the mud. See where I'm going, Bruce could easily have travelled this where I am going. But he's going to have a fall though. I don't know if you could actually. Through this part, maybe not. Oh, give me something. Give me something. Give me a sign of human. There's no signs of human life that's ever walked through this part. I don't see any scuff marks on trees. Any chainsaws cut trees down. I'm back at the creek now. There's a pile of crap here. I might as well search the same areas the police have already searched. So if the police have already been here, doesn't matter, because us volunteers doing this, we sort of kind of search a little bit more thorough than the cops do, because we're doing this volunteering, not getting paid for it, and we put ourselves we're in the worst positions out here to stumble across missing people. Put ourselves in dangerous positions, and that's how we probably one of the reasons why we found 2 missing people. So it's very sandy. There's so much sand here. It's like a beach through here. What I'm standing on here, this is all sand I'm standing on. The whole banks of this river, it's all sand, all lined with sand all the way down. I don't know if there's any gold in this creek. Maybe not, because there's so much sand here. No idea. This creek, see, there we go again. There's a track. There's a track going to Duckhole Lake. Now 15 metres from this creek. So I might as well just keep zigzagging down these banks. But if you're going to be this close, you would have been found. See where I just went into, I don't think he's going to get past that. Or he might be just in there. So where I went to that big tree, that's pretty much into the opening area. Or the open area finishes there and it all gets thick and very hard to navigate through. So Bruce ain't going to go too far in there if he has gone that way. So say the police would have searched this area because it's so close to the creek. I'm not sure where let's just check, see where I am. This might be the area where I come across to. Here we go. Where are we? There's a green dot. That's us there now. So that's us there crossing the creek. I think we've gone over 2 creeks maybe. I'm not sure. So we've gone up the hill there. That's where it gets thick up here. So I've stopped, turned back on around that big tree, and they've come back down there. That's us right there. So we're doing all right. I'm a little further up the river from where I come across, so I might as well let's head up here away from the river again. I just want to head to all the spots where it gets really thick. Would probably stop Bruce from entering. I'm just not. Usually when we're walking through the bush, when we found Peter and Celine, you find just like tree markings, like just marks everywhere that humans have been in here. You know, trees that have been cut and fallen, tree trunks still sitting there, with rocks sit on top. But there's nothing like that here. There's nothing around here that shows any life of a chainsaw has ever wandered up here and cut a tree down. There's just nothing up here. But when we're looking for Peter, there's tons of trees cut down and then rocks placed on top of the stumps after they've cut them down, so you can know, well, humans been here before. And there's nothing here. It's just a mess. If you raked all this stuff up, it'd probably be a foot thick minimum of just bark and twigs. So this looks promising. Bruce could easily wander up here. This gets pretty deep over here. He could wander up here a long way. Yeah, you could definitely. There's an opening over there. It's just like a straight through that bit here. It's like a hallway straight up to an opening up there. Maybe I'll check that then. That's gonna, get your attention. If you're lost, there's an opening Might be a road there or something. Boy, I'm leech ready. You want to spray all that stuff on me? I've got a singlet on. It's a long singlet, so I can tuck it in very easy to my trousers. I've got my thermal over that. And then I've got my jacket on and gloves on. Make sure no leeches hit you another ride home. We really need our team down here. Need our red team. We've got red team, orange team, blue team and green team so far. And red team won it last time. We were the winners last time. I was sick. We found Peter, winning team. Yeah, buddies. But the real winner, was his family. Let me sit down. I'm gonna sit there. What's that noise? Might be a wombat. So we found Peter. I'm here. I'm here. I've got Darren beside me, a couple of metres away. Then Noah. Then I'm not sure. It might have been Aaron on the end. I'm not sure. We were walking up a hill like this. It was a lot worse than this. This is pretty easy walking through here. It's probably a little bit steeper than this, the section where we found him, because it's starting to flatten out a bit. And Noah's like 4, 5, 6 metres away from me, about to step over a tree, which is probably 5 foot round, maybe. He goes to step over it, you can't step over a 5 foot tree. He goes to put his hands up and go climb over it, like we've all done all day, and like bang, there's Peter, just laying there on top of the ferns. On direct route, his last known position was here, his car's up here on top of the hill, and that's where we found him. So he was making a straight line for his car. So he couldn't, it was in there a few days, I think, from memory. Like he went in a few times to find his car, unsuccessful. And the last day he went in there, you can see he's got some idea, sort of realised, it's like, I was on top of a hill, because he was at the bottom of a hill. And he started making a straight line for it. And yeah, he ended up realising where it was and started heading up to the top of the hill, and that's where he finished. That's where he ended up. So that for him to get as far as he did through that crap we're walking through, that's a really good effort. For his age, what he was dealing with, that's a bloody, that's a kick-ass effort from him. And he was a proper bushman too. Travelled the world on his motorbike and stuff. So he's a man's man type of kind of thing. And to walk that where he walked, to make that trek up that hill through the crap we went through, that was a marvellous effort. That was kick-ass. That was badass. That was friggin', yeah. That was awesome. Make it as far as he did in his condition. Like, Pretty badass. Even though it's only 650 metres. 650 metres through an open street along a footpath is nothing. But through stuff like this, worse than this, that's a great effort. Right, let's get moving again. Let's get up the top of here. Oh. Maybe not that way. I think if a wombat, if I've started a wombat and he comes out of his home running at me, I think he's going to be a lot quicker through here than me. Let's go up this way. So he's going to get to here. You see it gets really thick. It's coming up the hill on the north side of the river. It gets real thick there. About 10 metres behind me. It's real thick. Let's go over here. There's an opening down here. Let's check this out. This is that might be that gully that I've seen on the map, where I said there's only one way out of here without climbing a hill. I think I found it. There's a little gully here. You can kind of see on the maps. If you want to climb a hill, you walk through that gully. It's pretty... Geez, look how thick it gets. Rightio, so look what I just found. I'm going to put you on my chest. Not sure what this is, but I found a bit of blue tape. What's this blue tape all about? Careful where I'm stepping on here. Looks... So if there's a tree I was about to step on, what is that blue tape? It's been there for a while because it's starting to cut into the tree. The tree's starting to... Blue. Could that be the police? Put it there when I was searching for him. There's nothing written on it. A bit more blue tape down here. Probably come off it. That is thick. You're not climbing through there. Check this bit of tape out. Whoa. Whoa. Oops. Right. What have we got here? Nothing written on it. Why blue? Is that because it's the police? They use blue? Because that's pretty brittle now. That's it's not real brittle, it's pretty strong still. But it's lost its stretch. Put that there, put that back. Well, maybe I won't. I'll take it. Why would blue? Why blue tape? What if this is the area they searched? Let's go down a bit into this gully. Have a look. So there's your fall in this gully. So we've got water. You can see that water does run down that. I don't think that's the gully. A bit close to it. Tree on the tree. There's another massive tree. Let's see if we can make it to that tree. So we have found signs of humans being up here now because there's blue tape back there. Should probably stop shaking trees. I was going to shake a leech or a tick onto me. So nothing on that side of the tree. Oh, look, there is an opening there. So you think about bushfires, how bushfires start, and so I reckon global warming and all that nonsense. But look at this. Look at the stuff we're walking over. Imagine through summer in areas, because you can't go and rake up the bush to clean all this mess up. So in areas that do dry out, they catch on fire, so you have massive bushfires. No wonder, look at the fuel. Look at the fuel everywhere. It's lucky this place doesn't dry out. Should be up in flames if this place dried out. A bit of lightning strike. Right, I'm pretty close to the creek again. So there's a bit of hazards here for Bruce to get through. It's not easy. I'd be climbing under all this stuff if he's come up this way. Not sure where I am, but it's very, very wet in here. So here, a little pond down here, a little build up of water. I'll just walk down like a Different type of creek, just a different creek there. And here she is. I'm back at the creek again. Let's see where I am. Let's see, there we are. We've headed back southeast towards the car. That's our trip from earlier. That's where we found a big tree up the top there. Found the blue tape up here. Yeah, we're coming back down the hill towards the river. And yeah, we're doing pretty good. We are certainly getting to know the place. So we'll start heading back upstream now. Oh, this is a big washout area. This goes completely underwater. So he could have fell in that. He could have walked through that and fell in there without knowing. You don't know till you get right on top of things around here. There's a lot of scratching going on around here from animals, wildlife. Very active area. See the stuff you dealt with. You've got Parkinson's. You're not going to do well through here. There's trip hazards everywhere. It's very sandy through here, so much sand. There's a corner, so that's one big corner here. One big corner. So this is the second river running down. I'm not sure if it shows on the maps or not. So Bruce, he would have made it over this one. Or either fell into it. Let's walk along it anyway. There's a bridge might cross there. There's a lot of cutting grass coming up there. So much sand here. These banks are just lined with like sand, both sides. This is not, don't try this at home. This could end up bad. Yeah, I made it. Oh, see? Yeah, back on the track. This looks like where I started, almost. So you can see what it's like in here. What time is it? Ah. So last time I checked the time, we got here. It's now 12, almost 12 o'clock. So it's been almost an hour since we last checked the time. So you can see everywhere, he could have turned off the track at any point along here. Just most of the way through here. Probably 95% of this track along here, he could have just turned off, wandered over there. You've got the creek, see? If you're following that creek, you're pretty much following this track. Pretty much the way this works. Maybe could have jumped across there. But that's where we started. This is where I crossed over before. I've ended up almost 50 metres away from all that mess. We ended up almost back in the same spot. And I wasn't even trying to get back to the same spot. I was just letting the bush take me to wherever it took me. So my feeling, he's going to be 300 metres that way or this way on each side is where we'll find him, because he's not going to go more than a couple of 100 metres that way, and not that way. You do hit a road over there. There's a road on that side, maybe 800 metres across there. Really likes to know where they found that dog. See? They could have fell in there. I don't know how bad he was, how brittle he was walking, being able to move. I know none of that. But if he was very brittle when he was walking because he had Parkinson's and stuff, he could have fell in there and somewhere along here. Just don't know. But this is how we're going to start. We're going to start working out how and where and why and when, and see if we can find him. going to keep wandering off this track. That's where I see little openings that you could walk off into, see where they end up. So you have this mess. You have to be far enough away from the track that if someone called out to you, you wouldn't be able to hear them unless you have fallen over and knocked yourself out. That's the only possible way not to hear someone. Or if, I highly doubt there'd be a different way that he couldn't hear you. Probably only two reasons why you're not going to hear someone call out to you. It's because you've fallen over and knocked yourself out, drowned, or you're too far away for their voice to reach you. And it's going to take, look at this. He's got to walk through. If he's walked through here, it's just a mess walking through here. So, depending on what stage of his condition he was in, determines how far he's going to be able to go through this stuff. Let me turn you around and show you. It kind of looks open on our phone, but it's not very open at all. Like, I'm meeting, running into the cutting grass again. It's about to get really thick in there. It could just be that he's just in all this thick stuff. So if he did reach this thicker stuff, he won't be in there too far because he would have fallen over. Are you going to knock yourself out in here? I don't know. You're only going to fall on trees, like little trees and stuff. I'm sure you probably could. Being older, Parkinson's, you probably very easily knock yourself out. And here's another opening. That's how easy it is to fall over. Like, just like that. That little bugger there got me. I fell down in this stuff. See, that's all soft. It's like it's been dug up and scratched. That is like very cushiony. Something's been in here and just scratched all that pile up. That's me, but that's at least I didn't fall in the river that time. Whew. See, there you go. That's how easy it is to fall. Check this bad boy out. The only red thing I found. Let's talk through a bit. There's a bit of an opening here. Might as well cruise over here. It's 12 o'clock. I'll get going home in a minute. Head back. But at least now we can all see what we met with, what I've got to deal with. You could have easily come through here. That would have been here 8 years ago. Get off me. Trees down here, around here. Oh, there you go. There's another opening. Yeah, so not Peter. Bruce. That's I'm not saying Peter. Bruce. You could easily get the wanders up through here. Oh, there's plenty. You can go down over that bank there. That's what we're going to do. go and look over that bank. The bank just there, 20 metres in front of us. I'm sure I could still hear a voice from here, someone's to call out. Or maybe not, maybe these trees would block the sound out. Because that's where we just come from. Can't see through there. This is just, look, this is probably a foot thick, easy, again. Just bark, twigs, sticks. It's just hundreds of years debris falling off these trees. So that's another old river. There's another little riverbank here, down in there. That in through here. A little creek bed running through there. And it runs down through there. So, like I just fell over. Bruises easily get tied up in this stuff, fall over, fall into something a little bit deeper in the brush, struggling to get out. That's a riverbed. Can we have a look in that riverbed or not? Make our way down to it. Oh, I just fall on again. Whoa. So there's a downhill here. Here is a little creek bed. Yeah, and this will just fill up with water. It'll just fill up with water when that snow melts, I reckon. So this riverbed will need to be checked all the way up. Little creek bed. We really need our team down here for this one. There's just so much can be covered over. So much debris down here that Bruce could easily be covered. And we just need every pair of eyes we can get. Look for shoes, shorts, red jacket. So I don't reckon you succumb to anything in an area like this. It would have to be where we just come from, like a little creek bed, fallen in there. It was full of water maybe. Struggling to get out. Somewhere where you can have a good fall. Because it's just too open here to be to find him in a spot like this. So it's going to be in an old riverbed, little creek bed where we just come from. There's going to be plenty of those around here, I reckon. So if you made it over that one, kept going, you know, I think we just need our team here. There's some really awesome ground to cover here. Really, it's so flat. We could cover so much ground here. So much ground to cover here. Over. So it's pretty open back there. We can go a long way over there. Right, I'm not sure where I am. I'm not sure if this is where I come through or not, but I'm just going to keep going through that way. And that's a bit we haven't discovered yet. Walk through. It's definitely getting lost out here. Easily get lost. I think it's just maybe just like Peter, he's just gone too far. Gone too far to come back. I've got butter, I can't come back. Here we are again, back on our track. It's in there. You're easily getting disorientated in there, like very, very easy. Like when I was in there, that is very. If you're losing the ability to navigate, you're just where I would come through. Every direction you look looks exactly the same. I couldn't hear the creek over there either. So when I was in that other riverbed, I could not hear the creek, the water flowing. But I'd feel you I feel you hear someone's voice though. If you're conscious, you would definitely hear someone yelling, I reckon. Yelling out to you. That'll do. What time is it now? What time have we got? 12:15. I've got to get home. Got an hour and 40 minutes to drive back. And pick up the kids. So go home, be a dad, and see if I can come down in another 2 weeks. Oh, tell you, it's always bloody something got to happen. No leeches, but I went to have a sip of my water. I didn't need a sip of water in there because it's not it's all flat through there, so it's easy work through there. I'm not on hills like this looking for Celine or Peter. But I gotta have a drink of water, open the lid, boom, blows up my face. Thinking, how does water blow up in your face? I looked at the bottle and there's a bottle of Mount Franklin water. That's what I brought. That's what I thought I was buying. Bloody light sparkling water. So I've opened the lid and boom, blew up my face. So for frig's sake, I don't drink sparkling water. I'm too hardcore for sparkling water. But not too hardcore for a Freddo frog. Rightio. Let's get out of here. hopefully in 2 weeks, if I don't have nothing else on, I'll be back here and I'm going straight through. I'm really keen to go now. It's 12:38. I've got an hour and a half to get home. So that's going to be like, what, 2 o'clock. After 2, I've got to get kids, I've got to go shopping, I need food, all that stuff, you know. Gotta be a dad, cook him a meal. I've got some dad stuff to do, so I've got to get home. So next time, we're all going straight south, where that creek bed is. I'm keen to go through there and right to the other side. That's all I'll be focusing on, that, because you can walk through there a long way. So till then, I'll see you boys and girls on the next trip. Peace out.